Hi and welcome to another rewards video. I'm just going to give you a quick update as to what's going on, what kind of rewards you're about to receive, who's the winner of this month's postcard, and yeah, so I'll just really quickly get to it. So it's been a really tough month this month. I've been working a ton of overtime. I've had like about 2 weeks. Half my month has been working overtime really late. This has really gotten in the way of my energy level and the amount of work I wanted to be able to produce. I've been scatterbrained throughout the entire month because of it. That doesn't mean that I didn't get work done or stuff done, but I got really behind on stuff. Like specifically the postcard, I didn't finish the postcard until a couple of hours ago. So, but I'll give you the story about that later. This month, I spent most of my time, like every moment I had, coloring Black Terror Kid comic. So today, this month, you're going to be getting the final pages of the comic. I finished it. I am so happy. It's been a year. It took me a year to do the entire thing, and not because I've been working straight through the year. It was because I would take months off of it, and so I am like so happy to be able to share that I finished the comic. And so here's what you're going to receive this month. Um, the high res pages that I finished of the comic, and you can see it here. Also, you're going to get some figure drawings that I did. I didn't do as much figure drawing this month as I have previous months because, like I said, uh, working working late. Noses, mouths, stuff like that, like drawing website artwork that I've been working on too because I'm still writing the book. So all that stuff, it was really tough to get to. But that's what you're going to be getting this month. Plus the PSD files, there's going to be some hidden stuff in the PSD files that aren't JPEGs for this month because I'm still working on it. I haven't even made JPEGs myself. They're still part of the files. I'm still working on that stuff. Yeah, so just thought I'd let you know that. Okay, so here's a story that happened to me. I take the metro to work most of the week because I find it helps. It takes me a little longer to get to work, but I don't have the stress of having to drive in traffic, and I get to draw and work on my things on the way home. Well, no more of that. Because I was on the metro and the security guard for the metro came up to me and he said, because he watched me on my tablet working and drawing on my tablet, and he told me that perhaps not such a good idea to work on my tablet on the metro, especially because I was sitting next to the door. And he told me was because what happens is that muggers wait by the door, and they wait for the doors to open. Then they pull out a gun, point to the person with the laptop that they want, and they say, "Give me the laptop." They grab the laptop, doors shut, and that's it. So yeah, that's a bummer. As my wife said, this is why we don't have nice things. um, yeah, I can't do digital work on the metro anymore, and it was one of the biggest reasons why I was able to finish coloring the comic, as because I was able to do it on the way home and in a little bit during the mornings. Can't do it anymore, so it's going to take me even longer to do stuff. On the other hand, that means that I'm going to be drawing on my sketchbook a lot more, so I'm going to have to try to find a way to like incorporate some kind of finished stuff on my sketchbook. So you're probably going to see a lot more JPEGs, a lot more sketchbook scans come moving forward. Also, I've been doing a lot of soul searching, learning about myself, trying to figure out, like all the who I am, what am I offering to the world, that sort of thing. And I've come to the realization that what I tend to be really, really passionate about, what I tend to be kind of what tends to drive my life is empowerment. Like there's like a theme to everything that I tend to like and enjoy, and therefore I want to produce. And so what I'm going to be doing, you're going to see my Patreon slowly change to this new, what I would call a brand or a theme to what I tend to do. I realized that my drawing website is about empowering you to take control and learn to draw and go out there and fight your fears and learn this new skill for your personal benefit. But on top of that, as you know, that I'm also really into superheroes and into sci-fi and into like dark fantasy and cyberpunk and just lots of different things. And I've noticed that one of the things that appeals to me, one of the underlying themes of these genres that I'm really into, these really geeky, nerdy genres, is also empowerment. And so it gives me a sense of drive. It makes me excited, like that's kind of what appeals to me, like characters with superpowers, specifically teenagers. I like the Teen Titans a lot. It's this newfound empowerment that they can do something with their lives, that sort of thing. That kind of a theme really appeals to me. Things like habit forming, learning to learn, meta learning, that sort of thing. Also, I really enjoy, and that is also part of this empowerment thing that I like. I also like to talk to my friends about making a living trying to be an artist, and I want to empower them. And I talk to them all about it all the time. That maybe they can go beyond being in a studio environment, and that's kind of like what I'm trying to do myself, is trying to go beyond the studio environment. But what am I offering? I'm trying to offer this empowerment thing. So hopefully, moving forward, and I'm trying to bring all this stuff together, I'm going to start creating more art that is more about giving you something, drive, letting you create new habits so that you can move forward and become a better you, something. And but I'm gonna start trying, and even the Black Terror Kids stories that I'm doing. In a lot of ways, the lessons in the stories of the Black Terror Kid, for example, the Claw is a person who is almost anti-empowerment. He's always blaming the Black Terror Kid for everything. Like he doesn't see the good in anyone. He's the victim all the time. I'm the victim. Look how horrible everybody is to me. Blah 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 blah. And what that does when you constantly are complaining about your life and everything that's going on, and look at this person and look at that person, and isn't that guy lucky because look at me, all these bad things are happening to me all the time. What you're basically doing is you're giving away your power. You're becoming the victim and you have no control, right? But the moment you take responsibility, then you get power. You empower yourself to make the changes in your life that you need to make to improve your life. So the Claw is the example of the anti-empowerment. And the Black Terror Kid is not a perfect kid. He's always messing up. He's being a goofball, but he's very positive. He sees the world in a very positive way, almost naive, innocent way. And when something goes wrong, he takes responsibility, even if what he tries to do to remedy the situation makes it worse. At least he's going forward and taking responsibility and trying to do his best to fix it. Because even when you do take control, and even if when you do get want to move forward and do something positive with your life, it's not going to come out right. It's not always going to be perfect. So, and that's what happens to the Black Terror Kid sometimes. He tries to fix things and it just becomes a big mess. And but the whole point is that he's trying to move forward. He's trying to take responsibility. He's trying to do something positive. So that's, even the Black Terror Kid stories that I write have that empowerment motif and theme. So that's what I'm going to move forward. I'm going to make a video finally for this Patreon uh, that talks about this, that talks about this theme, and very much in the same way I just did, because, and I haven't done that kind of description for this Patreon before, because I was searching for exactly this. I wasn't sure what it was that I provided. I wasn't sure exactly what positive change I helped create in people. And then once I discovered that this is the thing that I tend to be really passionate about and talk about with everyone, it became really obvious. But I didn't realize it until I had this like deep down soul searching. So it turned out that that's what came up. So I want to imbue my art and all my stuff and my drawings and the stories I tell and everything that I create, which includes the drawing website, with that theme. And that is part of the drawing website theme anyway. So, all right. This week's postcard. Okay, so let me talk about this for a second. Because I've been doing coloring for like a month and a half, and I haven't really been doing any naturalistic drawing except for the figure drawing classes. And usually in the figure drawing, we don't go past a 5-minute drawing. I've been really, really rusty drawing naturalistic, more realistic kind of stuff. So when I got to sit down to do the postcard, it was terrible. Like I started drawing, and it was the most frustrating thing. Like everything that I knew about drawing naturalistic heads went out the window. And I'm sitting there like doing these lessons on mouths and noses and things. But when I'm sitting there putting it all together and trying to draw my own a head for on my own drawings, my gosh, what a mess. Like nothing I drew was coming out. It was terrible. I decided that I was going to cheat. And by cheating, I mean I was going to do some rough drafts digitally. Usually what I do is I take the postcard and I just start drawing on it. But what ends up happening is that I feel like I'm rushing it. I feel like I'm rushing it. And one of the lessons that I learned last month when I had to redo so many of the postcards is that when I take my time and I have a plan already set in mind and in motion, when I was redoing the postcards, I improved them all, fixing all the things and taking more of my time, relaxing more when I drew them. So when because what I realized is that when I'm doing the postcards for the first pass, I'm just trying to finish. And and sometimes the decisions I make aren't exactly the ones that I would have done if I had thought about it again, maybe. So I'm not excusing, I'm not saying that any of the postcards that I drew before were bad. I'm just saying that that I think I could take my time more. I could relax more when I'm doing them. So fortunately for me, I decided to do that this time, and I started drawing digitally. And it was terrible. Like I said, I nothing I drew was coming out. Nothing. It was awful. So I did another pass, and I didn't like it. I did another pass, and I didn't like it. And then I sat down and I just really constructed everything and made it all work. And then I went in and I did another pass, and finally I did a digital finished version. And that finished version was exactly what I usually do when I do the postcard, which is kind of race to the finish. And I allowed myself to do that because I knew that this was not the final. So I could mess up, I could race to the finish and decide what I wanted to do. So by the time I got to the final drawing, I took my time, I was relaxed, and I did it, and it turned out very well. In fact, I'm so proud of it. So here it is. This month's postcard is with John Constantine or Constantine, as they say in the TV show, but it's Constantine in the comics. I've been reading a ton of Hellblazer, a ton of Vertigo stuff like Sandman with Neil Gaiman and stuff like that. I know I probably should have drawn Doctor Strange because Doctor Strange movie came out this month, but today is going to be is John Constantine month for me. I don't know if you're aware of who John Constantine is. He had his own TV show. He was in but he's a wizard, and it's very cool. If you haven't read any of the Constantine comics, I highly you're missing out. Hellblazer is what the comics are called, and it's a fascinating character. He's a very interesting guy. So this is this month's drawing. This, by the way, is version number 7 of the drawing. I drew this 7 times, and the 6th time is the pencil version of this before I inked it. And then the version number 6 was a digital ink version of this. And then there was like 5 other roughs that I did before I even got to this final. So, but I'm very happy with the final version. So I'm really happy to send this off. And speaking of, the winner of the postcard this month is Jesse Taliaferro. Okay, Taliaferro. Jesse Taliaferro. All I need is your an address to send it to, and the Constantine drawing will be yours. And again, this is kind of going down the empowerment theme. I have him. He has a little quote here that says, "I'm the one who steps from the shadows, all trench coat and cigarettes and arrogance, and deal with the madness." You know, so he's kind of a cool cat who has to deal with crazy magic stuff that goes on, and he's kind of an empowered individual because he's a wizard. So that's this month's stories. And thank you again for becoming a patron. Thank you for the new patrons, as well as welcome back, Michael Goslin, for joining us again, being my patron again. And that's it for me this month. And I will see you next month with more rewards. And I hope you like the rewards for this month. Any suggestions, anything that you would like to see me do, please don't hesitate. Let me know what you think of the new idea for my branding idea, if you want to chime in. And thanks a lot again for being my patron, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye.